Hello. Hello.
Hello?
Karthik.
Yes,
Hey Karthik, am I audible?
yes, you're audible.
Alright, perfect. So hi, this is Deepak. Um,
Hello?
so, hello.
Yes, yes, go ahead. Can you
Yeah.
hear me?
Yes, yes. Loud and clear. Okay, so I was saying that this is Deepak. I'll be taking the WCS demo session for you. And
Okay.
before we go ahead, I would like to know a little bit um, about yourself and what kind of experience and knowledge you have about WCS, and what are you looking
Uh,
forward in the session or in the course that you want to take.
when about WCS, actually, I don't have much experience. I mean, I worked with WebSphere before, like WebSphere and WebSphere, little bit of WebSphere message broker. But other than that, those are both middleware, obviously. But this WCS is different. WCS is for e-commerce, and it is on the UI side. I have very less experience. Actually don't have experience at all with any UI programming or anything, and I'm just looking to go into little bit. I just heard of this tool and thought maybe learning this would be a good idea. Basically, I just want to know more about UI programming and also with Websphere Commerce. I know how to develop website, the e-commerce website using this, and learn a little bit of how it internally works, and also what the support is for the I mean how to support already developed WebSphere Commerce projects and stuff like that.
Okay, perfect. But you are good with Java at least, and
Yeah,
the
I know
related
Java.
framework.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Because
I don't
that's
know.
like,
Yeah, I know Java,
yeah.
but my experience is little less with other stuff like HTML or JavaScript. I mean, not much of UI programming. Only middle backend programming. Mostly I've done backend programming.
That's okay because
Yeah.
uh, I mean, even if you know basic HTML and all, right, most of
Right.
the things come out of the box in WCS, like all the pages and everything
Right.
um, are already there, which are provided. At
Okay.
times, if the client, so I'll tell you a little bit about what Websphere Commerce is all about. Maybe
Okay.
let's take up a. I might have a slide to show.
So, do you have much experience with? I mean, are you very? You should be very experienced with this, right? So far.
Yeah, I have experience with both front end, back end, and in and out of it. All right. So like you said, you already are aware that IBM WebSphere Commerce is a tool for building commerce related, or to build
Yes.
websites, online websites, and that is correct.
Correct.
Along with that, WebSphere Commerce or WebSphere Commerce provides lot more other things, because if you look from a layman's perspective, a website just looks like a website, but within that ecosystem there are a lot of other things that has to be looked at and managed. Is a huge work because you need to perfect things, and perfecting things requires a lot of time, energy, a lot of experimentation is required around it, right? And
Okay.
if a seller wants to develop something on his own, he'll have to deploy a big team who will be working for years and years, and before the site actually becomes perfect and usable, it will take a lot of time, and a lot of money will be spent into it. Um, so it is not feasible for everybody to spend so much of time and money to develop a tool, um, because now the market is so competitive. People want to like become online the very second and become productive, earning money and everything, right? So what IBM did is they created a tool or suite which is designed in such a manner that all a e-retailer has to do is, just purchase the tool, configure it as per their requirement, and they're all set to go into the market. Okay, so everything that you see in an online website is all there as part of the tool. All you have to do is configure it. Okay, so if that's the scenario, what is there in for developers like us who who tend to work on WCS? So obviously, right, no five fingers are perfect. I mean, they're not the same. So every e-retailer business that's there, the way of working is also different, right? They have a different, their own strategies and the way how they deal with customers and everything. And those are the sort of customization that they need that has to be done on the tool apart from what WCS already provides. And that's where we come into picture to help them configure it as per their requirement so that it fits into their business agenda. Okay,
Okay.
so but again, like I said, the core business or the core functionality of an e-commerce website remains the same, even though things might change here and there from one customer to another, but the core functionality remains the same, right? So
Okay.
if you look from a customer perspective, when somebody opens the website, he lands onto something called as a homepage, where the main things are like all the highlighted products along with uh, way to navigate through the catalog, right? So you have that navigation through categories and other things, and the customer would click one of those to go to the category page, apply certain filters to narrow down at what he's looking for, or maybe he'll perform a search operation or something like that, right? And once he has fixed onto a product, he would go into the product details, look at reviews and other things, add to the cart, proceed with payment, um, and finally make a checkout of the product. So that's the core functionality. Now around that, things might change here and there, like some customers might be supporting so and so payment gateway, right? Some customers might be supporting cash on delivery, some might not be supporting cash on delivery. Some customer would have or would want to display the navigation in a different manner, right? So you might see websites having navigation in horizontal manner, some might be having it in vertical manner, so on. So those are all kind of small changes that they would need as per their requirement or their like and feel. Um, so according to that, we help them to customize the website. Now that's one part of it. Like I said, that's just the front end or the e-store part of it. Now behind that, there are a lot of other things that I was saying. So this is a website which is created by IBM, which talks about all those additional things that are required in today's world that has to be part of the e-commerce application to help e-retailers to gain most out of it, right? So simply creating a
Yeah.
website is not going to get them customers, it's not going to make them sales, right? So the website not only has to, engage with the customers, it has to be appealing, obviously. It has to be mobile compatible, right? Because nowadays, if you see,
Hmm.
everybody would like to do a first check on the mobile, and then uh, most of the cases, right? The people like to go through mobile websites and see what all are there. Um, in, so it has to be mobile compatible. It has to support number of payment methods, etc. Obviously, and then it also has to be capable of integrating with the order fulfillment system, right? So order capturing in one part, then there has to be an order fulfillment system wherein the order details are sent to the warehouse. The warehouse person would then initiate the shipping and other part. Because that's again becomes a separate um, sector itself. So these details that I capture on the e-commerce websites has to be sent to the OMS systems. That capability has to be there. There has to be capability of adding more products into the system and manage them and other things. So a lot of things that are there around it. So we'll just quickly glance through it, which will give you more idea. And all of these are part of WCS, and all of these might need customization. So as a WebSphere Commerce expert, you must be aware of all these features that are there in WCS and how they work, how they function. What is the data model that are associated with them? So when I talk about data model, it's the database structure, right? So you need to
Right.
know what are the tables, where the values goes. Um, I mean, all these are basically basic things, right? Any
Right.
application, if you look at, if you want to
Right.
support it, you need to know what are databases, what are the files that are part of it. How do you proceed going ahead editing it? Like you said, you want to be able to support a already built application, so
Right.
you need to know all these basic things, right? So
Okay.
first of for the one of the first feature that is
So
described here
the list
is,
of features that I see right now in the left side, those are all the features that are and functionality that is provided by e-commerce,
yes,
IBM
there are
e-commerce,
high
right?
level, yeah, those are high
Uh,
level functionalities that are provided um, by Websphere
like for
Commerce,
example, okay.
and they're very,
Okay.
very important for
Okay.
any website to operate in the best way.
Right. Okay.
Small functionalities at the level of development are also there in the terms of what technologies are being used, what are the features that are supported in terms of how do you modify database, or how do you write the best code, and also those things are there at the developer level, at the coding level and all. But these are like from the functionality perspectives, these are uh, top high level features that WCS has.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm,
so the first one is order management, and I already spoke of it, right? So you must have a very a profounded way of managing your order, because once your order is captured, the story doesn't end there, right?
right.
So it has to be passed on to your order management system, where fulfillment of the order takes place. The order has to go to the warehouses, the shipping delivery of it has to happen, and the customer should be able to track all those details on the website in his profile, right? um, the order history details has to be managed onto the website with correct status, etc. So all these things fall under the order management part. Along with it, like I talked about payment and other things, right? So those all again becomes part of the order management. And where payment is concerned, security and other things come into picture, right?
Right.
So your website or your application should basically be 101%, actually not even 100%, when it comes in terms of security, because
Right.
because of the amount of online frauds that are happening and data leaks that are happening, this becomes a very, very important thing. And any tool should basically address to this aspect of it first rather than anything else, because everything else goes to a toss if security, you know, if there is any issue on the security part, right?
Okay. Okay.
So with years of experience that IBM has gained through the tool. So WCS is out there in market from around 1995. It was called .NET Commerce or something, right? And then it has evolved from that era to 2016, right? So you can imagine the kind of expertise IBM has got and the kind of learnings IBM has obtained over these years to perfect this tool. So literally speaking, there is kind of all kind of security loopholes that people can think of is already taken care of, whether it is SQL injection or encrypting of data at right places, using a proper not only application level but database level encryption with SSL, HTTPS and other things. All of these are managed within the tool, right? So
Right.
you don't have to worry about any of those as a customer. Like I said, the tool takes care of everything, so you don't have to worry about anything. You just install it, configure it, and you are all set to go.
Okay.
So uh, so coming to customer experience, now I also talked about that a website doesn't only have to be able to display just products, but it has to engage with the customers
Yeah.
as well,
Feeling.
because
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be appealing. Okay, appealing is okay. Website is looking good, right? So it's appealing. But then if a website is dead, when I said dead, what it means is that if a website doesn't engage with the customer, right? Because today's customers are very demanding. Um, they want that things should be according to them. Um,
Right.
they should be able to do a lot of things with the website. So if I want to buy a product, I want to uh, know a lot about it, each and everything about it, so that I am satisfied that what I want to buy is this is what I want to buy. I'll compare with hundred of products and so on. So a website should be featureful enough or capable enough to help me, or it should assist me in doing all those things, right? So today if you see
Right.
people, earlier if you remember, right, if you remember the old websites, they were only like some blur, bad looking images that people will put on the website. But today if you see, product photography has become a separate domain itself, right? There are photographers who take lakhs of rupees just to click photographs of the products. They use all top level models and other things to click photographs, make the products look appealing. They add a lot of things like 360-degree view. Nowadays you can also see videos being uploaded along with the products to give you an idea of how the product looks, at the things, right? So all those things have evolved just to add better customer experience, to help them, to assist them into making better choice, right? So,
Right.
just a line here, special features created to help boost conversion by giving your customer engaging, interactive experience, designed to help them make informed decision without ever leaving your site, right? So if they got all the information on your site, they're not going to leave it. So they'll finally
Right.
be able to make a purchase here itself. Otherwise, if they don't get all the details, they'll maybe want to look at 4 or 5 other sites, and maybe end up buying from there. Okay, so these are kind of thing
Okay.
you can see a product page where you get a option to choose different size, color, and as you choose the color and other things, the dress color changes, and you have a model with different views showing the product and other things.
Right.
You have rating and reviews as well, which helps you make a better choice. You can filter based on kind of rating and other things, so that you buy the best product, and also you can read how other customers have failed and so on. And to manage all of these, there is also a tool that is provided by WCS. In fact, there are a lot of tools that are provided by WCS. So the one that you see here is called Websphere Commerce Management Center tool. Now this tool helps you configure all these features that you saw, right? Rating reviews or product details, other things. So we'll talk about this tool later on when we discuss tools and other things in our course. But yeah, that brings me to talk about one of the another important thing is, WCS not only provides things for a developer to configure the website, it also provides a lot of tools, like I said, to help the business users to configure the website. Because as a developer, you might add features, make code changes and other things, but at the end of the day, a website is run by the business people and not by developers, right? Because
Right.
those business users will add more promotions, they will add coupons, they will play around with products, or categories. They will hide some categories, so they will add filters, they'll change the price, so many things they would like to experiment with the products, with the website, to see what clicks, right? Because you never know what a customer would like. Today you might be running a 10% sale, nobody is buying, and you make a tweak like 10% sale with shipping charge free, and people go mad about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, or for that matter, it's holiday season. You're saying you want to bring out new promotion after every 10 minutes. You must have tools that will help you do that, right?
Right.
So, and those things, a developer cannot be engaged into those kind of things. You cannot engage a developer for those kind of things, because those are business things that has to happen on fly, and a business users must, or the person who are looking into these things, they must have tools to do that as well. So Management Center along with other tools help business users to configure the website at least in terms of business, right? So it provides a
Right.
lot of features for that. So Management Center is one tool that helps you to do that. So we'll talk about this in more details. What are the things that you can control through it when we talk about tools in our course. Next is mobile. So like I already talked about, right? So today most of the people like to engage through mobile devices because of, you know, it's one thing which is always there in your hand and you can always look at it whenever you get time. So if our website say immediately started a sale with 10% off or something, right? He can send a message to the customer saying that, hey, we are running a flash sale for that matter, right? I'm running a flash sale for 2 hours, and the moment the customer gets a message, he might be traveling on a metro, right? He can't
Right.
get a laptop or desktop and open it, but if he has a mobile with data connection, he can quickly open up the website and look at, oh, hey, what are the products that are there in the flash sale, because he
Right.
might reach after 3 or 4 hours and the flash sale may be over, right?
Maybe over.
And
Yeah.
you don't want to lose those customers as well. So it's very important that you have a mobile presence as well, and you don't want to. So that's one part of it. Second part is that you do not want to spend um, money on developing a separate application which is mobile compatible. So earlier what used to happen is with static website and other things, you had to create a separate website or application which was capable of being viewable on the mobile, right? And then there was a separate desktop version of it, and then the customer had to pay double money for maintaining both of these, right? But now with newer advances into the technology with responsive and adaptive UI designs, you can actually
Mm-hmm.
create one website which is adaptable on all the other platforms, right?
Right.
I don't know if you have heard about responsive and adaptive designs. So these are all UI
Yeah.
related.
Uh,
Yeah, these are all
no, I have.
UI related things. Um,
Okay.
so these basically allow you to create a website which will adapt according to the screen design or the screen
Okay.
size basically. So if you look at the same website on a desktop, it looks different, and when you look at the same website on a mobile, it adapts to look proper on a mobile device, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
so that's again designing thing. So again, you don't have to worry about it because WCS does take care of that as well. So initial version of Websphere Commerce that was launched did not have this mobile compatibility in it, right? So you have to develop a separate website according to the mobile device, and but in the later feature packs, right? So there is something called feature packs in Websphere Commerce. So what feature pack does is that as time goes on, right? So the tool Websphere Commerce 7 came out in somewhere around 2002-3, right? That was when the
Right.
WebSphere
Okay.
Commerce 7 was launched. So from 2003 to 2016, it has been so many years, 13 years, right? And the market has evolved. There are a lot of new things that are coming to the e-commerce space, new technology, other things. So those has to be added into the application. You can't be left behind, right? A customer cannot
Yes.
keep on using something that was developed in 2003 and miss out on the new features. So what IBM does is, as the trend changes, right, and as the things evolve, IBM keeps on adding all those features onto the application, and those features are released in the form of something called as feature packs. Okay, so every feature pack will have some new features that gets added onto the tool, new functionalities that get added, and that's another benefit, right? So as a business users, you don't get left behind the game, right?
Right.
So in feature pack 4, IBM started supporting mobile devices as well, and now you don't have to maintain two different versions. Same website gets adapted according to device size. Okay, so that's another thing which is provided by WCS, right? So as you can see in this uh, screenshot here. So if you see on the website looks like this, and then you go to a tab, it has adapted to the tab screen size, and then when you open the same website on a mobile device, you know, you can see it has got adapted. You change if you change it to horizontal view, again it adapts accordingly. You can see that, right?
Yes.
So it's the same website. Uh, it's the same website. but again changing according to the skill size. So that's how the UI has to be designed, and that is taken care by WCS, like I said.
Okay.
Right. So, all right. So next is social. Now, I need not talk about social commerce, right? Today, social commerce has gained so much of power that
Yes.
it can overturn governments. Right? You might have heard
Yes.
it happened in Egypt and other places where people coordinated and uh, formalized move against government to overturn it. So it has become extremely powerful, right? And people are or people do communicate about businesses over social media. Like today I bought a shirt and you liked it and you go and say I bought this shirt from so and so store, getting best deal, and you know your friends would like to check out as well and maybe buy as well. Or if somebody doesn't like something, they go onto your social profile and click something or type something, and so many other followers of yours would see that, and they might get a bad expression about the brand. So people are very peculiar about social commerce, and so that's one part of it, right? Now your website must be integrated with all the social platforms so that these kind of reviews that customer put onto your wall or page should be there on the website too, so that it helps other customers to make the purchase, right?
Yes.
So it has to be integrated, um, and not only data has to flow in from the social commerce to your website, but from your website to social commerce as well. For example, you added new products, that has to automatically flow into your social media pages through shares and likes and other things, right? So if you add those share button or like button and so on, so customers can just click on like, share, and other things to engage socially through all this social media, uh, and you not only get more engagement, but you also gain more customers and brand name and free advertising as well through it, right? So
Right.
um, so WCS does provide you way of integrating with the social commerce. Again, you don't have to worry about um, any of the coding part and other things comes out of the box. All you have to do is configure it by adding your um, you know your Facebook page details or LinkedIn detail and other things onto the tool, right?
Yes.
All right. Precision marketing is another important. Actually, it's one of the most important thing, right? Because now you might have gone to Amazon or something and looked at few products, and after you left the Amazon website, anywhere you go, you might see Amazon ad coming up with exactly the same product that you're looking at. Have you
Right.
ever
Yes.
seen that?
Yeah, I've seen
Right?
that many times. Yes.
Yeah. And you might wonder how the hell does that website know that you are browsing so and so products on Amazon? I mean, sometimes it becomes look little magical kind of thing. So these are kind of precision marketing. There are a lot of strategies, and this is what is called as precision marketing, right? So you don't want to market things which the customer don't want to buy. For example, if the customer is a female, and she's interested into buying a female shoe, you don't want to show her TV and flats and other things, right? Makes no sense because she's not going to buy it, and your money that is going spent onto marketing is going to go wasted, right? So you don't want to do that. So there are a lot of ways in which we do precision marketing by managing data through cookies or through local cache or other things. So that's a technical part of it, but then that's what precision marketing is, right? And that's one thing. Second thing is that um, you also want to make sale, or you want to show products to a customer based on kind of historical data, like kind of products he has browsed and other things. You want to show him or give him offers related to that, so that he finally make the purchase on your website, or you want to give him recommendation based on kind of product that he's looking at. For example, you might have seen a lot of websites, when you go there, on the right hand side or left hand side you might see recommendations. Maybe I'll have something here. Okay, so
Hello?
images here.
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, I
So
can hear
you
you
might have
now.
seen. Okay, so you might have seen website where right hand side or left hand side you see certain recommendations, right? So all those recommendations are based on the kind of product that you're looking at, right? So,
Right.
for example, if somebody is looking at a say computer, you would not like to show him recommendation related clothes because obviously he's not going to buy that. He's here for computer. Okay, so those kind of recommendations are personalized according to the customer. They are not static, they're all dynamic, and they are all based on your behavior. So these are kind of precision marketing strategies, and there are tools that are built into WCS which will help you configure all these tools and recommendation engine so that you provide the best experience to the customer, and customer also finally makes the purchase, right?
Okay.
So again, the management center tool that I talked to you of helps you build these kind of strategies um, so that you can help customer make the purchase. So like here it talks about some of the things based on which you can drive your marketing strategies. For example, it can be based on customer segment, like whether the customer is a male or female, he's a child, what is the age group in which he falls, and things like that, right? Shopping cart. So what are the kind of items he has added in his cart, right? So if somebody has come to your website for making a grocery shopping, he might be adding products related to that, and if you can look at his cart and see what all kind of items he has added, and you can maybe show recommendations related to that because you can guess that he's here for grocery shopping. If he's adding clothes, you know that he's here for clothes, so you can show promotion related to clothes, right?
Yes.
Purchase history. So if you go to Amazon's website, right, the moment you open the website, on the home page is not a static page actually. The home page is based on what are the kind of items that you had bought earlier. For example, say if you had bought a phone, they might show you recommendations to buy a screen guard or cover or case or some mobile plan or something, right, based on your purchase
Yes.
history.
Yes.
Um, because you might like to buy that. They just try to guess it, and so on. So, so that's one thing. Catalog browsing behavior. What are the kind of products that you're looking at? Online behavior, social commerce, participation, a lot of things, right? So based on all of these, you can basically configure the tool to give recommendations which are more precise and targeted. Next is discount and promotion. I need not talk more about it. These are very, very important because people like to do discount shopping, right? So that's one of
Yes.
the biggest reason why the sales grow 100 and 200 times during Thanksgiving and Cyber Monday and other times, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your tool might be capable, or must be, not might be, must be capable enough of providing you ways in which you can add all these promotions and discounts in the easiest way possible. So I talked about flash sale and other things, right? So management center tool that I told you of helps you configure all of these the way how you like. So there are different kind of promotions that you can add, like buy one get one free, buy one get 20% off on the second product, or if the card value is more than $100, you get $10 off. And lot of those are there. So n number of those, and Websphere Commerce supports all of those that you can think of, and you can even create your own if you like. So creating a new one again engages a developer into the picture, but then yes, you can do that obviously. Um, multi-site management. Now this is one feature that I have not talked about till now. What this says is that if you look at a brand which has existence in different countries, right? For example, say Adidas. So Adidas does sell shoes not or sportswear not only in US but in so many other countries like India, Japan, China, etc., etc. Now it would not want to have a website or a single website created to target all these geographics, right? Because the kind of
Yes.
items that they sell in different countries are obviously very different because it has to fit into the tax structure, the likes of the people, this the kind of products that, because every country, the way or the kind of product that the people like might differ, right? Based on how the people are,
Yes.
or the sales and promotion that you might run may have to be targeted according to that. Because if you look about the sales season for India is during Diwali and other time, right? Because that's the time when people make most purchase. So you need to run promotions, other things at this time if a website has to target Indian customers. Likewise for Chinese, you have your Chinese New Year when the people make the most of the sales. For US again, it's towards the end of the year during Thanksgiving and other things. So a single website cannot cater to all these geographies. So that in turn comes to the point that a customer would want to have 3 and 4 or 5 websites according to every country where they operate, which again adds extra burden onto them because they have to then maintain 5 different teams to manage all of these, or whatnot. So Websphere Commerce does provides a feature called as extended sites model. Okay. Now what extended site models allows you to do is that you can run multiple versions of the same website, um, uh, having the same database, same code base, same of everything actually, right?
Okay.
But you can configure and you can run multiple versions of the website on the same data set. So your database is going to remain same, your code base is going to remain the same. The only thing that you'll have to change is the look and feel. In fact, if you just
Okay.
want to change color, you don't even have to do that. I mean, color and all themes, basically WCS provides themes which makes the appearance of the website looks different, but at the core it remains the same. For example, if you see these three websites, right? It's the same website running with 3 different themes applied to it.
Okay.
So data is being driven from the same database, same code base, the business behavior and all are going to remain the same, but still, the look and feel is completely different, as you can see. Um, and now a single team can manage all of this because the database code and everything is same. So a single team can manage all of these by applying different themes to give a different look and feel, right? So
Right.
that's something which is supported by WCS through the extended sites model. That's very unique feature that is provided with WCS. Now many people have started copying it as well. So, but and
Nice.
that's one unique thing that's there. Merchandising is next. So merchandising, I talked about, that the tools should be capable of adding new products, features into, not features, but it should be capable of allowing the customers to add new products, and you should have tools to allow you to do that, right? And manage all of those. So those things falls into the merchandising part of it. Um, Web analytics, again, very important thing, though not something which is visual to the customer, but very important from the seller's perspective, right? Because you would like to see how the people are engaging with your website, right? If you launch the promotion, you would like to see how many people are engaging with that promotion, how many people clicked on a particular link to view the promotion, what are the categories that are mostly browsed, what are the products that are mostly purchased. These kind of statistical information at runtime is what you would like to know, right? Because that will help you configure your system or tweak your system in the best way possible. So WCS does support web analytics through. So again, it does support, but then you'll have to purchase different tools that will collect and help you view all these details. Um, so right? So there is a tool that is provided by IBM called Core Metrics. Okay, that's a separate
Okay.
tool, that's a separate software, but that is supported by WCS. So if you buy a license to the software, all you have to do is install that on top of Websphere Commerce, and then you are good to go. Just like order management, right? So order management system is basically a separate application that you need to purchase. For example, Sterling Commerce. So Sterling Commerce is one application which which is one of the market leader in order management subsystem, order management basically. So that is a separate application which can integrate with Websphere Commerce so that all the orders that are captured is sent to the Sterling Commerce, and Sterling Commerce take forward through the fulfillment and other things. So that is a separate thing. So likewise, we talked about payment gateways and other things, right? So payment gateways are again provided by different vendors. So you can
Yes.
purchase any of those and integrate with Websphere Commerce. So what WCS does is allows you to integrate with all these extra additional tools which are outside the capabilities of WCS, right? You can't have everything inside e-commerce tool actually, because these are all different spaces, different technologies that and has to be managed separately. So you can buy all of them from different vendors and you can integrate them with this. Again, like I talked about search, right? So search is a domain in itself, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So a e-commerce tool cannot have search capabilities because search is a different thing in itself, wherein you build in different strategies, how your product will be searched, what are the search terms that customers are looking at, and based on the search term, you strategize your, you know, product hierarchy and other things. So that's a different domain, and there are market leader tools in that space such as Solar or uh, um, I mean, Solar is one of them, and Deca is another, right? So these are all market leader tools in the search space, basically. So what WCS allows you to do is you can integrate them with the commerce tool, and it provides you ways how you can do it, and it supports all of those. So those are kind of things WCS provides, but then, like I said, those tools have to be external. Similarly, for web analytics, IBM does provide you ways in which you can integrate these tools, but then the tools have to be purchased, the license has to be purchased separately. Okay.
Okay.
Um, Globalization, again, this is very much linked to your multi-site management that I talked about. So geography is one thing that I told, right? The second thing is that the website should look and feel like the country where it's shown. For example, uh, the text in which or the language in which the website is created. So you might uh, want your websites to display things in English for an English-speaking country, and in Chinese for a Chinese country, in Japanese for a Japanese country, and so on, right? So you want the text as well to change on the website according to the country or the people who are looking at it, isn't it? That way it
Right.
becomes more engaging and more easy for the customers to understand what you are selling or what you want to sell. So and not only that, right? That's one part of it. Language is one part of it. Currency is second part of it. Tax system is another. Payment gateways are another. Shipping, what are the shipping options that you provide? That's another thing. So there are a lot of things that are basically, you know, based out of geography and based on the country-specific thing. So that falls under the globalization scope, and IBM WebSphere Commerce supports all of those, right? So you can create. So like I talked about just now, right? That you can create one website, apply multiple themes to change the look and feel. Likewise, it also helps you or also supports, the way the architecture of the application is designed in such a way that you don't have to do a lot of work if you want to change the text and other things on the website to adapt to a different country. That's one thing. There are tools that helps you configure your application for different tax system, for different payment system, for different other things based on country and geography, right? So all that is again part of
Uh,
WebSphere Commerce.
this is similar to the multi-site management, right? I mean, this is almost similar job it does because in here also you're maintaining different. I mean, it's not different
These
look
are all
and feel,
interlinked
but
actually.
yes.
All are interlinked actually. So multi-site manager provides that option at technical level, right?
Right.
And then under globalization, you have tools and other things that helps you do that. So, so at technical level, in the sense, what I mean is the database, right? So if
Right.
if I say that the database is going to be the same, how do you separate all this, right? What is
Right.
the best way in which you maintain all those data so that things don't mix up? You don't want to screw up data from one website to another, right? You don't want to even by mistake apply a different tax to a customer of a different country uh, tax of a different country to a different country user. You can't expect even a slightest mistake to happen, right? So
Right.
at technical level, those things has to be managed. So that falls under the multi-site management thing. And then you have tools and other things to configure as a business user. So those all falls under other category. But as a whole, you can talk, if you talk, it all falls under multi-site, yes.
Right.
Okay, so yeah. So there is a screenshot here saying same store, different look and feel. I mean, it's in English, right? And here it's in Chinese or something. So now coming to extensibility, I already talked about IBM WebSphere Commerce being a very versatile tool, allowing you to, integrate it with different other tools as well. So to be capable of doing that, your technical architecture has to be designed in such a manner that there are, I mean, uh, if you have worked on Java, you know that if you want to integrate your application with different other applications, there has to be certain design that has to be followed, right?
Yes.
While designing your application so that it's very easy to integrate with different third-party applications, right? And if that's not done, doing that becomes a whole big headache later on, right? So IBM has been designed keeping all those things in mind, and it's very easy to integrate with different applications if required. Some of them I talked about, right? Like the analytics tool or the social commerce or payment gateways or order management system or things like that. So at every point of it, you have the architecture is designed in such a manner that if required, you can integrate it with different tools. So that that brings to the end of the feature list. But so these are like if you look back, these are kind of lot of things that if required to be developed by a person from the scratch is going to take a lot of time, right? And a lot of issues, errors, things that would come into that has to manage. So using this tool, like I said in the beginning, you get online in the quickest way possible, not only with the basic website, but with a lot of rich features added on top of it to help you get more sales, more customer engagement, and other things. Okay,
Okay.
and
Yes.
like I said, as a developer, where we come into picture is to help clients customize, configure all these tools from the backend, and also educate or partner with the business users to create things that they might require, right? Like I talk about promotion. There's a all new kind of promotion that a business user would like to try. You would help them to create those and configure those. So that's where we come into picture. Um, so any questions on the tool and features?
No, I think this is a good overview. I got a good idea of what this does. I mean, and of course, the course will teach how to do each of them and what technical details will be there for each of them, right? Okay.
True, true. So another thing that I would like to cover is kind of, so maybe you can request for course content uh, over the email later on, but I'll give you a high level overview of what we are going to see as part of the tool, and then maybe you can tell me if there is something specific that you're looking at. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll start with, and all of these, though I have put in points, these are all going to be covered over tenure of time, so
Yeah.
don't worry about that. So at high level, we'll be covering Websphere Commerce architecture and programming model concepts, where we'll see what are the technologies, frameworks that are used, right? If you
Okay.
know them, very good. If you don't know them, that's okay, because we'll be covering them and we'll be doing practicals on those, so you'll get very well versed with it. But at least basic knowledge of Java is required. So that is why I asked you whether you know Java or not. Okay,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
as far
Java,
as
I am familiar with. Yes.
perfect. So even if you don't know frameworks, that's perfectly fine. We'll be covering them uh, at high level during our sessions as well. So we'll start with WebSphere Commerce architecture, programming model concepts, right? Um, we'll implement. We'll see how the development environment is configured and how the projects are arranged. So we'll go through those architecture, other things. Then we'll look into customizing storefront pages, which are the GSP pages, which form the front-end layer for the WebSphere Commerce. Again, if you don't know HTML, CSS, that's okay, because if you look from a development team perspective, right? There are different levels of developers that are required, right? So there will be a team who will be doing the backend logic. There will be a team who will be doing the HTML and other things. There will be a team who will be integrating the HTML with the backend logic and so on, right? So there are different kind of developers that you need. So even if you are not good on HTML, CSS, you can be the backend team part of the whole thing, right? So because everybody doesn't know everything, so even if you are not knowing the front end that much, you can be a so this course is not about teaching you Java or HTML, CSS. Let me be clear with that. So this course is not about teaching Java or HTML, CSS. This course is about teaching you WebSphere Commerce tool. So if your focus is on to learning HTML, CSS, then I think you should join a course which is on
I'm
HTML.
saying I'm interested in learning the front end part of WebSphere Commerce. Whatever background knowledge I need, I will take care of that myself.
Correct. So
But,
we'll talk about correct. So yes, I want to make that clear. So your expectations are set in the correct way. So we'll be covering how the front end is structured, right? So that, as you can see here, right, we have this topic here is customizing front end pages, right? So in WebSphere Commerce we have JSP pages. So we'll talk about how to create new JSP pages, how to put it into the WebSphere Commerce this thing. But then when you talk about front end, it has a lot of other things, right? So those things will not be looking, because what are the HTML tags that are used, how Ajax calls are made, and all those things. Those things we are not going to go into, because then that becomes a different thing. We won't be able to cover the WCS itself if you go into all those things. So that you'll have to study on your own. Okay.
Yeah.
So that thing is there. Then we'll be looking into what are the backend. I talked about backend thing, right? So in the backend Java part, you have a lot of things like how you interact with database. So for interacting with database, we use a technology called as EJBs. So we'll talk about what EJBs are and how do you create new EJBs in WebSphere Commerce. So that's again Java part. So like I said, right, EJBs is a different technology, it's a different framework within Java, right? Like in Java, you have different frameworks like Spring, Hibernate, EJB is one of them, Struts is another, and all those things, right? So we'll be obviously looking at high level of all of this, but then in-depth knowledge, if you need, you'll have to do some studies of your own around that. Okay?
Yeah.
Because these are all core Java frameworks and technologies, right? So basic knowledge I'll be giving you, obviously, but then if you're interested into learning in depth, then you'll have to study it separately. Because then if you go into, I talked about EJB, right? So EJB technology is vast actually. It covers a lot of things. It covers message-driven beans. It covers about entity beans, session beans, non-session beans, so on. But in WCS, we cover only one small part of it, which is EJBs, entity beans. We don't cover message beans and other things and all, right? So we'll only be sticking to that. Okay. So that is what I'm saying. So from whatever is required from the WCS perspective, we'll be covering. Whatever is additional you want to learn, that you'll have to study separately. So just keep that expectation. Okay, so that's one thing. Now coming to next part. So in WCS, we develop business logic based on there are different framework called command framework and other things. So we'll be covering those. We'll be talking about different subsystems that are part of Websphere Commerce. I talked about all those features, right? So all those features are different subsystems in Websphere Commerce. Subsystems, you can talk about modules maybe, right? So they are different modules. These are, it's the same application, but same application, different modules, right? Just for a better understanding and better, way of uh, looking at it, it's broken down into different modules. So we'll be seeing what those modules are. Obviously, at a high level, they are order module, payment module, blah blah blah. You can break down logical breakdown, right? So we'll talk about what are different modules that form the Websphere Commerce tool. We'll see what are the database tables that are part of different modules, right? Again, when I was talking about the development part, right, the team. So basically, there are around 12 different modules in Websphere Commerce, and one person cannot be a master in all of those. Okay,
Right.
so when the team is formed or when we do hiring, we talk when we talk to a Websphere Commerce person, we say what are the subsystems that they have worked on, because it's a huge application, right, and you can't expect everybody to know everything. Okay, some person
Right.
might have, and if you have worked on development, and you might have seen that if you go into some part, your whole life goes into that, working on that part or that bit of the application itself, right?
Right.
Because throughout there will be so many changes coming in, and you'll have to do all those and support and other things. It so happens that if you're in a project for 5 years, you have been doing the same thing for the 5 years. Okay, so that's how it happens, and it's truth. So, and we do know that is why when we hire people for WCS technology, we ask them, the first question is that what all are the subsystems that you have worked on. Okay, and they would name one or two or three of them, and then we would ask questions around that. So so that's how, what I wanted to say is that's how your subsystem is important. Okay.
Yes.
um, so that's the thing. Then we'll talk about data handling, right? So I talked about loading new data into the database and other things. So that's another part of it. So we'll see how that is done. We'll talk about the tools that I talked, right? Management Center, and we'll see how do we create marketing and promotional strategies using it. Exception handling is anyway part of the coding, so we'll see that as we develop new code of our own. We'll see how web services are created and used in Websphere Commerce, and as we grow through, we'll be seeing what are the best practices to follow, right? What are the best practices that
Right.
IBM has followed, and what we should follow while designing or configuring or customizing any of the Websphere Commerce part. Okay,
Okay.
so those are the high level objectives that are going to be part of the session. Apart from this, anything else that you're looking at, you can always ask me and I can include it in the course.
Okay. Sure. Sure. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you for the demo.
So, yeah.
Uh,
Any
so
questions? Yeah.
no, I think you covered pretty much everything. I don't know much, but I think looks like you covered. And so you will be the trainer if I decide to go with this course. You will be the trainer, or somebody else? In your team, or somebody might be there.
No, I would be the trainer for you.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I think
Um,
I don't have questions regarding this. So, but I think I'm good for now.
Perfect. So if you have any questions, you can always reach out to them, and they can help arrange another session like this, and I can maybe cover any queries that you might have.
All right. Okay. I think this looks good. I think I'm going to contact. I think it was Shonali, and talk about the payment option. And so you when is the when can you begin if I go with this immediately, or is there some batch or something that you're going with?
You can begin immediately, maybe by this week or next week, based on. So what are the timings that you're looking at? Same timings as today?
Same timing is okay. I think. I think that there's weekends or weekdays, right? Either one is there, right? So weekends 3 hours, or weekdays is 1 hour, something like that, right?
Weekends I'll have to plan because weekends
Okay.
generally I don't prefer
All right.
because of
So if it is weekdays, is it 1 day, 1 hour per day, or is it, how
1
much
hour
is
per
it?
day. 1 hour per day.
Let me just go through the email that she sent me. Okay, I can't find it right now, but anyway, so this is 30 hours course, that's what I heard, right? Is that correct?
Approximately. I would not call it hard-coded 30 hours, but approximately 30 hours, yes. But don't be peculiar because I've seen students being very sticky about 30 hours. So it's 30 hours actually, plus and minus, right? Based
Yes,
on
that's
how
fine.
quick you get the concept. Because sometimes when we say 30 hours, some people say, hey, you did not cover 30 hours. How come the course come to an end? So it depends on how much you understand, how quickly you understand, and how much time you spend. Sometimes you might spend 1.5 hours or 2 hours or something like that, based on how the topic goes. So I would say approximately 30 hours,
Okay, okay.
right? Plus minus.
All right. Okay. I think that would be okay. I think. I mean, in the email, they said like 3 hours if it is weekends, like weekend it will be like 3 hours, 3 hours, 6 hours, and next weekend it will start again. But I think if it's 1 hour, I think weekdays also okay, because I mean right now I'm working, right? So weekdays is so I mean, it's also fine. But yeah, I guess maybe 1 or 2 days I might, if I have too much work at office, I might not be able to make it. But I think that would, of course, that's not your problem. That's from my problem. So that would be okay with me. If you're
That's
available
okay.
only weekdays, then we can do weekdays.
I mean,
That's
I'm flexible. See, the thing is that weekends I might have plans. If I don't have a plan, then obviously we can like Friday we can discuss it. Hey, do you have plans on weekend? If no, then we can have the session on weekend. And that's between me and you, right?
right.
To figure out when do we have sessions and when not. So say Friday we can talk. Hey, do you have plans on? Because you might also have plans on weekend, right? So
Right.
so some you say that hey we don't have any plans, let's catch up. Then we can have the session on weekend. That's perfectly fine. See, there's nothing like hard rule, right? I said right. There's nothing hard rule. So
Right.
it's between
Right.
both of us. I need to train you and you need to take the training. So it's between us that when do we engage and how do we engage. So
Okay.
whenever the time speed we can tell Swali or Vijay, whoever is coordinating the meeting, that hey, we'd like to have the session tomorrow also, right? And they can set up a meeting for us and we can have the session
Okay.
on the weekend too.
So I
But
can contact you
preferably,
using the same email, right? Whatever I've been using to contact Shonali with same thing,
yes,
or
for now, yes.
yeah. Yeah. All right. I think that's how looks good. I think I'll email them to see how I can finish the payment, and then maybe we can start.
Sure, sure. So where are you residing? Which CS,
I'm
which zone?
I'm in US actually. I'm in Dallas.
Okay, that's like which time zone?
Hello.
CST, EST.
That is a central time zone. So right now it is 9 p.m. for us.
Okay, 9 p.m. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, no issues then. That's fine. If you have any queries, you can obviously come back. Yeah, and then we
Of
can.
course. Of course. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Karthik. Nice talking to you, and
Yeah, nice
see you
talking to
soon.
you too. It was a good demo. Thanks, Deepak.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.